Hey guys, I don't see who's on here, but I see some people are watching. Give me 1 second to share this and then we're going to get started. If you can go ahead and share it as well, tag somebody. Do not do a watch party though. If you do a watch party, I can't see who's asking questions or commenting, so I won't be able to get to them. So just share it regularly if you want to share it. One second. Give me 1 second. I got one of your links. Hold on, your Facebook link. Okay. Hey, Tiara. She said, "Hey, Brandy and guest."
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Tiara, tag some men. If you know some men, this gonna be some good ones, or even some females. Like, cause we ain't just talking about men. It's the toxic one. Whoever is the toxic person. So y'all tag some people in this. Tag some people. Share it. Share it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Like I said, as they tune in, chime in or whatever, I see their comments. You'll be able to see it. Should be able to see it on the screen. I should have did a test run with you. That was my fault, and I didn't. So let's go ahead and get started.
All right.
Can you just give us an introduction?
My name is Kwame Seeger. Um, I'm a business owner, music production company, slash jewelry. So make sure you check out my jewelry page, Infinite Divinity. Also do reggae, you know, R&B. If you see me out doing my thing, make sure you come back out. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so where do you do those at? Did you say?
I just recently had a show this past weekend at a winery.
Oh,
Nothing consistent right now. Everything's all weird with the whole pandemic thing. So, I'll definitely keep you posted. You follow me, follow my page.
right.
Be having links and invites on there.
Right. And guys that are on, and those that are going to watch the replay, his links are in the caption. So at any point that you click off the video, go in the caption and follow him on his Facebook, his Instagram. I think personal and business is in the caption. So you guys can follow him at your leisure. All right, moving on to the next one. So what made you choose this topic?
Well, the topic kind of chose me
Okay.
in a way. I kind of consider it like a chapter I'm kind of coming out of. Taking a lot of accountability for things I've contributed to in my dealings with relationships and people. So
Okay, y'all. I want y'all to hear that well. We got a man on here that just said he is taking accountability for the things he has done in his past relationships. Y'all, that's deep. We don't get men. I mean, a lot of women don't, admit to their wrongs too. But to hear a man saying this, y'all, that's deep. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So, like he said, the topic chose him. All these topics that my guests speak on, guys, I'm not choosing these. They're choosing these. So, whatever you feel like you can help someone grow in or break those generational curses, give somebody a breakthrough, y'all hit me up so we can get y'all on the screen. That's what we're about. Learning, growing, and becoming a better you, trying to bridge this gap with the men and women because there's a, especially in the black community, we are enemies to each other, y'all, and we shouldn't be. So my goal is having these men on here as well as these women. So hopefully we can break that thing down and understand where each person actually needs healing. Because y'all, females aren't the only one that hurt. Females aren't the only ones who need love or whatever. So men matter too. So y'all, tune in when these men are on the panels. Ask them questions because as women, we don't know how men think, act, or feel at all times. So I'm loving these men that's agreeing to get on here and be transparent with us. So and ask your questions, guys. Guys who have been on here, you know the drill kind of. But anybody that's new, ask your questions, comments. We'll get them on the screen for the guests as soon as I see them. So use him. That's what he's here for. Going on to the next one. Give your definition of what toxic is.
Uh, my definition. I can go into a lot of different things, but generally it'll be just not being able to take accountability for the things, your own personal actions. Like, um, we human beings, so we feed off each other.
Yeah.
I might throw you some energy, or I might withdraw from some energy, or whatever might be taking place. But what am I doing personally? Like, I can say I'm moving this way because, quote unquote, this person changed up on me, or or something I'm perceiving might be like that. But what, what, but that's just what somebody else is doing. It has nothing to do with what you doing personally, or
Absolutely.
anything that has to do with you. So it's like, what am I doing? How am I contributing? Like, um, I'm gonna just start off like this. I'm gonna just break the ice.
Go ahead.
I got married at 19 and divorced at 20. You feel me? And I kind of ain't gonna go into a whole lot of details about what took place or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
I used to look back on it like she did this and she did that, and it's just recently, like literally probably within the last year or two, I look back on it. Now this is like 10 years ago. I look back on it like, man, hold on. I'm looking at it for what it is. Like, I had a lot to do with what went on, or lack of.
Mm-hmm. I just want to commend you for even saying that part. It's not always the man fault, but personal opinion, guys. I do feel like men don't always do that. I do feel like they don't always go back and say, okay, maybe this relationship ended because I was the one that was wrong. Maybe not so much as toxic, but I was the one who had a lot to do with why we failed. It could be communication because, men communicate differently than women. So it could be that, maybe the man is in this mode where, oh, she nagging, oh, she complaining, I want to hear it. Okay, well, maybe she is, but at some point, what is it that you're doing that's continuing to make her repeat that same topic, over and over? So I do want to commend you, like, really, for that. I'm hoping more men be able to do that, whether the situation works out or not. I believe it's growth. I believe it's maturity. I believe it's really helpful. I believe it heals both the person and even yourself when you're able to go back and say, "Yeah, I messed up." Even if you don't, I would like to think that we would go back and apologize to that person and admit where we were wrong at. But even if you don't, just admit it to yourself. It's wonderful. It's great. It's a great thing. It's a big level of maturity. So again, I'm commending you for that. You say there's a lot of definitions on toxic, and it is. I just want. Did you have anything else that you want to add to that? Because
That one specifically was more about accountability, but
Mhm.
you got toxic um, behaviors. Um, I I was in I guess what they call a situationship. There wasn't really no relation going on, but
Yeah.
I didn't realize what I was type of person I was dealing with until after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess what they call a narcissist or narcissistic
Mm-hmm.
cluster B personality type. But it is weird. It's weird because they say people are mirrors and reflections of you, really. Um, in some ways, not that's not 100% all the time, but you attract to you who you are. You know.
I was just gonna say that it's not. they do say the person you're with or talk to is a reflection of you. I agree. I wouldn't say to the full extent, but I would say at some point you do have to look, if you're still attracted to somebody that you feel is toxic, then maybe something in you is toxic as to why you continue to choose that particular type of man or that type of woman. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And it wasn't until I dealt with this person and this made me start looking at myself and holding myself accountable. This was like probably 3 years ago. And dealing with this person taught me like, hold on, this I ain't gonna get too deep, but
that's cool.
It really, because it's a whole rabbit hole effect. You hear me?
You share as much or as little as you want. Just yeah, we're not to
sure.
blast or anything or make anybody uncomfortable, but get enough information out that will help you, me, and everybody that's watching.
For sure. But long story short, it just taught me like, okay, I'm attracting, and then I'm steady, I'm judging. I'm like, okay, this person is this, this person is that. But then, like you said, I had to reflect on like, hold on, what is it about me that's attract? Because this might be the worst I've come across, but this isn't the first. So what is it? I had to look at like, what is going on with me that I keep attracting these type of people, and then now it's getting worse and steady compiling. Like, so I had to take a step back. I not even a step back. I had to go in. I really had to do like, hold on, and then I had to see, especially like when that whole point finger thing. Like, it's crazy because some of the things we don't like about people we do ourselves. We might
Can
not.
you say that again? Say that again.
Some of the things we don't like that other people do, whether it's to us, indirect or non-direct, we do ourselves. It might not be as as we seeing it or as we perceiving it, but we might got a little bit of that in ourselves, and that might be something. It's a form of self-hate projected. I'm learning the power of projection too. Um, Me being accountable for myself these days, I'm realizing how other people can project things onto you. Because I'm holding up to mine. I'm holding mine. Now you putting something that's not me on it. So I'm realizing that's a whole different story. But
it is, but when you're done with the exact point that you're at, can you go back to that and just kind of give an example on how someone can project something on you to the point where it does start to affect you negatively or make you become toxic?
Yeah, because I went through that.
Okay.
Okay, what was my first point?
I'm sorry.
See,
I'm sorry.
My first point was oh man, it really kind of left me. Where was I at?
Okay, so I stopped you at talking about people projecting
Okay.
I guess their energy on you.
Well, let me just go into that. Maybe I'll come back because it all.
Okay. Well, because you was talking about how we do things that to others that we don't like, So you was talking about that.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I realized like I'm realizing I'm looking at this person, I'm analyzing, I'm judging them. Like, hold on, I got a little bit of I do that. I kind of do that to people too.
Yeah.
It might not be I might not be using it to the fullest extent like they use it, but I do it too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay. So that's when I started owning up, and I started, going through my own mind and like, what other toxic things do I do? Mm-hmm. So that's when I started using, because it's hard, sometimes we run from ourselves so much and we don't realize it too.
A lot.
So I'm like, okay. And I'm realizing I'm running from myself. So I'm like, okay, I'll use the external. Since I won't go in, let me go out. So I allow myself to be triggered, and I allow myself to go through certain things and stages with people that bring out certain things in me that I don't want to go in and do.
Right.
And it's a subconscious type of thing. We don't even realize. But I know I'm purposely doing this externally since I, it's weird. It's weird to have to go and dig it within yourself. It's uncomfortable. Is what.
It's very uncomfortable. Speaking on that, and again, guys, when we talk, I just want you guys to really keep in mind everything is personal opinion, everything is experience, everything is from our perception. So I don't want you guys to get offended or upset or mad at the examples we give or anything like that. Just take the meat from it, and what's spoiled, throw it out. No need to get mad or feel like no one is directly targeting you. But in that sense of what he was saying, we don't like to sit and take accountability or really look at ourselves. I feel like social media has really taken that away from us. I feel like we're so engaged in social media sometimes to where we don't take time out to breathe and figure out who we are outside of social media, outside of someone else's post. I see a lot of people posting like, "Oh my God, I'm bored. What's to do today?" And I'm like, find yourself. Find yourself. Like you don't need social media every day to give you fun, laughter, entertainment. If you gotta run somewhere else to get that, or you gotta run to social media to get that, and you feel like just sitting there with yourself or learning yourself is boring, that's an issue. That's an issue. And it's something that you're running from that you don't want to face. So you're using that social media to distract you from learning yourself, from figuring out, why am I at where I'm at? Why do I keep running to these type men? Why do I keep running to these type women? Why am I not further in my career? It's just other things we can sit back and look at. And it may be things that are toxic or that are bad for us, but we run from it. And so social media is a really huge platform we use to run from ourselves, I feel like.
It's that sense of self validation.
Yes, that's it.
Or
I
lack
can think of,
thereof.
yeah,
Lack thereof.
yeah,
And we all guilty of it. We all,
yeah. All of us,
some
all of
more
us.
than others, but
Yeah, I have a friend. She was on here earlier. I don't know if she's still on here. I talked to her a lot, Tandra, and I'm like, we both are in a space where we know we have to retreat from social media. When we start getting to the point where you're getting to the point where you're subconsciously comparing, like, oh dang, they business doing this, mine ain't doing this. Oh dang, they went on this trip. I ain't going on no friend's trip. Oh, her bae did this, my bae ain't do that. You got it. When you start doing that, and we all do it, like you said, you have to retreat back from that, because those things will, like you said, somebody project stuff on you and their issues on you. That stuff will project on you and start giving you an ungrateful spirit, to the point where you start getting them attitudes, and you start
so
start
so
turning.
let's go ahead and jump into that projection.
Go
Since
ahead, go ahead. Go ahead. You know what? Attitude. We on attitudes. We on attitudes. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put somebody comment on the screen, guys. Get those questions and comments in. Um, Stay at attitudes. Stay at attitudes. Remember, I'm going to scroll back up and get to somebody question. Before I do that part, though, guys, I don't know if you guys can see, but it is October, Cancer Awareness Month. And as you can see, I do have both of my Cancer Awareness I Am Goalsszz shirts on the screen. So I am selling these for October. They come in black or white, men, women, youth. They come as unisex shirts, but I can make them fitted or hoodies, however you guys want it. But it's just to support those who are dealing with cancer, those who are here and still dealing, those who are here who have battled and won, and those who are here who have left us. We call those angels. So guys, buy some apparel. The link is in the, I think the link is in the comment section. It just popped up there. But go ahead and purchase that for somebody, because I feel like now he's talking about the toxic thing, or I mentioned the comparison. People who are dealing with that, that's a big mental draining. thing on you. You know, a lot of people that deal with the cancer, I know they kind of look at other people like, you know, they compare why me, you know, why they don't have it, or why this, why that. So it's a confidence killer. But guys, purchase those shirts for you or somebody else, and let's support the cancer awareness. Let's just give support for this month. Um, that's my little rant. Let's go back up. Tiara, I saw a comment you had. Let me find that. It was more of a comment, not a question, but I don't know, Kwame, if you want to just speak to.
Go ahead, throw it out there.
She said sometimes it takes other people coming into your life to see what's going on within self.
And that's what I meant about that external, using the external world to figure out things within yourself. Because sometimes it's hard to go within, or sometimes it ain't hard. We just don't know how. We ain't been taught certain things. I was just, I give singing lessons, and I was one thing I always say is we not taught the proper way to breathe.
To breathe. You said to breathe. Oh, breathe. Okay.
Like right now, I'm speaking from my chest. I should be speaking from my diaphragm. You feel me? Everything about my whole energy just shifted from me just speaking from my diaphragm. Uh-oh. Did we freeze up? Brandy, you there? Screen froze. That energy shift was real. Froze the screen. Hey. Hold on. Hello? Hello? Oh, man. What I do?
Okay, you coming on. Are you on?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know who's still on. If anybody is left, I'm sorry about that. Did you want to continue? Did you know what you were saying, or did you want me to just go on to the next question?
What I forgot what I was saying. I was saying something about breathing. Okay. Oh, it's freezing up again.
So, still on. Just in our life, that God a lot to show us thing. It's kind of sticking on that for yourself.
So you're kind of breaking up on my end.
That are on you.
Can you see me and hear me all right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if it's my connection.
You hear you just keep talking, probably like link back in. The screen went black last time, but yeah, you good. Yeah, I mean, it happens.
All right. So okay, coming back.
Okay. Let me put the other one on. So, is there a difference with toxic and just having an imperfection?
I would say those are two different things.
Okay.
Because toxic is more of like some conniving, and that's the thing I learned about me. Like I was toxic, but I was unconscious of it. So it was things I was doing it was toxic behavior that I was exhibiting that I wasn't aware of. Was you know whether it was learned behavior or just me being me and just doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a difference when toxic is toxic, point blank. But it was a situation I was dealing with a woman where I got the feeling she knew she was toxic, and she was like she she knew how to use it. You know, I always say there's we all got superpowers. We really do. However you want to look at your personal gifts, or however you live your life, we all got superpowers. It's you can use your powers for evil or you can use it for good, and that's kind of how I look at it. And some people use it for the not so good. Not saying trying to uh, do things for your betterment or to prepare yourself further in life is bad. Nothing's bad about that, but it ain't what you're doing. It's how you do it. So I always look at that aspect of it. It's how you do it. It's how you use what you have. You know. I froze up again. Can you hear me? Oh man. Burned it here. I'm still alive. I don't know if I should keep talking or not. Should I sing the song till she get back? Oh man. Hello. Yo. No. Having some connection issues. I wonder if I'm still alive. Mm. Stay camera ready. Stop playing. Since we on the subject of toxicity, what's that? We got some songs catered to that shit. That Maxwell Bad Habits. That was talking about toxic behavior. That song, Shoo-doo-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. I don't mean to hurt you, baby. Yeah. Hello?
This just went off bad. We both like just clicked out. Can you hear me and see me
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. Yep, we back. We back.
Okay, I can hear you. I mean, I can see you. I cannot hear you though.
Can't hear me? Check, 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 check.
Can you
Nothing.
refresh your screen? I can't hear.
I don't know how to refresh. Hold on. Oh, it's pausing again. It's freezing up. Can you hear me? Anything? Nothing? Do you want me to click on this and go back into the link? Okay, let's try.
Yeah, Tiara, it clicked me off. It clicked me off. I guess how he was trying to click in. Sucks because I've had a few that done this, but it definitely messes with the flow of the broadcast, and I really don't want to start over. Kwame, I can't see you. Are we good?
Are we good? We good? Can
We
you hear me?
good. Oh my God. I am, guys, I have no control over this. It's the internet connections interfering with each other. I am so sorry. I apologize. Can you guys hear us now? See both of us now?
Can y'all hear me? Good?
I know I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the last question you asked?
So I was just asking you, is there a difference with being toxic and just having an imperfection?
No, because the imperfection. I mean, and then an imperfection. That can change with person to person. What somebody see as a flaw and perfection, somebody else might like.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Because I feel like sometimes we say we like to label everything toxic, and it's like, no, that's not really a toxic behavior. So I guess I want to kind of like just see what's the distinction. Like, how will we know if this is something that's toxic versus somebody that's like, man, it's just a flawed person. Like, for example, let's just say me with an attitude and cursing. So okay, I rarely curse, y'all, but say every time I'm mad, I'm cursing somebody out. I mean, would that be considered toxic, or is it just a character flaw that makes me imperfect, but something that, you know, I don't know.
I
Like,
don't
what's
know.
the
And I'm gonna jump into what I was saying before we got cut off. That
okay?
kind of ties into that. No, what I consider toxic versus a flaw, like how I consider my behavior before I started analyzing and taking accountability. You would have to flaw me in that area because I wasn't aware of my behavior. Now that I'm accountable for it and I'm thinking about it, trying to change it, now it becomes toxic if I'm still exhibiting the same behavior versus, um, it's some stuff that's just you don't realize how deeply embedded things are until you're trying to do the opposite of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like working through that aspect of it. But before, I mean, you can't really. I didn't know.
Okay, so from what I'm hearing, and guys, you guys also correct me if I'm wrong. So basically, imperfect or flawed person could be anything that you're doing that may be wrong in the eyes of others, but you don't know that it's actually an issue. Versus now, once it's made to be known an issue, you just like, oh well, I'm gonna do it, whatever. So that's, are you saying that's the difference with with being
hmm
toxic and just being an imperfect person?
hmm
So
I seen a quote. It says some people don't want to be healed; they just want attention, and that stuck
I
with me
agree.
because of the certain person that I was dealing with at the time. That I got all these revelations from because I'm looking at because they knew they was messed up,
Mm.
and and that's why we gotta listen to people when they're talking, especially in the beginning stages. People tell you about themselves, and they might not even realize it.
Absolutely.
We give them
Absolutely.
the benefit of the doubt, or we might just be going in one ear and out the other, or maybe we just projecting what we want to see versus what's actually happening. So there was a little bit of all of that going on for me. What they call it, cognitive dissonance. All the evidence is right here in front of you, but you like, nah, I'm gonna just throw that to the side. I'm
Right.
gonna see things how I want to see it.
Right. Because we think we can change people. We think,
Yeah,
well, you may have did that with them, but I'm different. Watch me. I'm gonna change you. I'm gonna make you
yeah,
be better. Yeah, yeah. I love how you said that. I don't know if I ever heard that. Some people don't want to be healed, they just want attention. I absolutely agree though. I absolutely agree. It goes back to when we were talking earlier and we were saying like it's just social media is our escape from ourselves. And it is like you don't want to heal the toxic stuff that's in you. You don't want to heal like you've it's been made known to you that this is a problem that you have, but you don't want to deal with that. So you go to social media for validation. We post our opinions and we mad at somebody, mad at our friend or dude or whatever. We post our opinion. When somebody validates that, oh yeah, sis, bro, yeah, that's what's up. When somebody goes against it, now we want to unfriend, we want to block them, we want to snap because
mm,
we're looking for that validation for something
yeah. We only want the positive validation.
we don't want nobody to disagree with us. And
No,
that's I feel like that's a toxic behavior too. It's not
it is.
extreme, I wouldn't say, but that's a toxic behavior.
It,
Not
it it actually is more extreme than you think it is
really okay.
because it's real subtle. The fact that it's a real subtle
Right.
behavior, and we don't think about how it magnifies to other. It really connects to every other thing, but that's the base
That
of it,
makes sense.
really.
Definitely makes sense. Yep. I didn't see it that way because I'm like, well, it ain't that extreme, but nah, you're right. It is. Like you mad, you get hot headed over everybody that disagree with you. I know it's definitely a toxic behavior, but I didn't see it as being extreme. But yeah,
And
I
then
can
the
see
fact
now.
that we only run the social media, yet we're not that social about these certain things directly.
Oh wow.
That's social media is toxic, period, because
Yeah.
what we using it for versus what it was made for is being used against us. But
Mhm.
that's mm, I'll go deep into something else.
I, so when we talk about indirect thing, I don't think people realize that's a communication issue.
Yeah,
And on the post, people out, say you something when you first you a communication issue. Because why are you exposing this on this platform negatively? But then when you have the chance to address the person directly or see them, now you're mute. Now you don't have nothing to say. That's definitely a toxic behavior.
mm-hmm.
And
That's yeah.
it's
Um, to me, social media kind of created a lot of new psychological disorders that people ain't addressing. That's stemming from other and older. I ain't gonna call them disorders, but ways of being. But it's definitely created some new psychological issues with how we communicate and interact with each other.
name one in particular, different from the communication issue I spoke on.
Just basically the one start with the one we were just talking about, where that you were just speaking on. The fact that we can be so vocal and so standing our ground on this issue. We can write so much about it, make so many posts, make so many comments, but in actual reality, outside of this little box right here, where's that same, as they say, where's that, keep that same energy,
Mm.
you know, or
Yeah.
actually addressing the root in reality. Like we talk all this politics and all of this on social media, but where's this same movement outside of social media?
See, I like how you said addressing the root. I think that's a really big issue with us not realizing that we are maybe the ones that are toxic because we don't want to address the root of the situation.
Oh, that's
And when
yeah. Go ahead.
and when you don't tackle it from the root, of course, all these surface things, it's like you said, psychological issues. When I tell you, I see so many personalities in a person on social media, I'm like, which one is you? Like, today you positive, or no, not even today. An hour ago you was super positive. An hour later you like a terrorist. You know, as I do believe, I do believe social media create those psychological issues, and I do believe it's because we are not hitting it at the root,
Well,
addressing it.
just hearing what I said back to me. Now I'm not so much as far as creating. I don't. Okay, they've created some new ones, but it's actually exposed more of the ones we've already had, just magnified. If that makes sense.
You talking about social media?
Yeah. Like in the same sense that it creates this new mental and psychological issues, it's also magnifying the ones that we've already had
Oh yeah, definitely,
to a
definitely,
different extent, to where it did create those new ones.
definitely.
That makes sense.
Like I said, the communication it definitely affects communication. It definitely it affects the comparison with us, but it goes back to you saying how you realize you were allowing people to project things on you. Sometimes I have to, like I say, disengage from social media because
Oh yeah.
it be issues that I know I've had or I'm dealing with. I get on social media to maybe distract myself from those issues, but as soon as I get on, all it does is it magnifies what I'm dealing with because
Triggered again.
somebody posting it,
Yep.
or it's the situation may not be exactly what it is, but I done got on social media and saw something so crazy that I felt was relevant, and now it just magnified my situation to be something that it originally wasn't, even there. But
Mm-hmm.
I allow people posting stats or whatever comparison, whatever I'm doing at that moment, to project onto my lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and then boom, here you go. Here's the attitudes. Here's the
Yeah, and I was in a situation like that to where I allowed somebody to, and this is why we gotta watch the people that's close to us too, or who we allow close to us.
yeah.
Um, and this taught me a lot about myself too. In a way to where I used to seek certain things outside of myself to where I'm kind of just shutting down that, and I'm like, okay, if I can't go in and find it, then we'll just work on it later. Because when you got to deal with things externally, it's magnified, and when you don't get it the first time, it's going to be even worse the second and the third, and like, okay, just situations that happened when I was married, little things that I picked up on and I learned from, or I thought I learned from, until they kept coming up with in different situations and relationships after the fact, to where I realized, hold up, maybe I didn't, and maybe I'm not learning this lesson.
Right. Right.
So I had to start changing my perception. I had to start changing my perception, and it's as they say, as hold on, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah. You good.
Okay.
You good.
As they say, so above, so below, as within, so without. So sometimes you gotta go outside of yourself to find certain things. Sometimes we need that external reflection. Uh oh. Uh oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You see me?
Yeah.
I don't know what internet do you have?
Spe-
Okay, that's what I do. Send people a post about maybe saying have issues with it. I don't know what's going on. I guess everyone is having issues with charter. That's what I have too. So it's very and I have no idea what's going on. I have to call in. But I did see other people posting about it. I just was hoping I got lucky. We didn't have issues. We are having issues. um, while we are, I don't know if we're gonna. I'm hoping we don't. But if you could go to the, I want you to speak the when you say we gotta power ourselves, sometimes find ourselves. Could you speak to that part a little bit?
Wait, can you repeat that?
You mentioned about having to go outside of yourself sometimes to actually see yourself.
Yeah. Like, and then now I'm thinking about something we said earlier about running from yourself. Sometimes it's not even that we running from ourselves or can't find certain things within. Sometimes there's certain things only situations or people can teach us outside of ourselves. Like these things I'm taking into consideration with um, certain behaviors I'm taking in accountability with past relationships. It's like I can only realize, have those epiphanies through dealing with another person.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's not reflected back to me that I resolved it, or maybe I'm still going through it until I meet somebody else.
That makes sense. Do you think it's because maybe we don't want to hear? And this is going to go back to Tiara question. I don't know if she's still on here, but I want you to answer her question in either way. Well, she had a comment. But do you think that happens because maybe we don't want to hear from that particular person at the moment?
Yeah, that does. But that's the whole mirror effect. They not even aware that you having this whole thing going on, and this is the thing about relation now, because all this I'm thinking about this as we speaking about it.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'm realizing this could be an issue. I'm not saying it is. This could be an issue while we have the communication issues because what I'm dealing with this person is what I'm dealing with. They might not even be perceiving that any of this is even going on.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that happens a lot.
And this is what the whole projection thing is, because this situation I'm projecting, they playing a part in it, and that's the whole thing too. See, we tapping into some whole metaphysics and all
I
of that,
mean,
but it's all relative. It's all relative. They not even aware that they playing a part and playing a role in whatever's going on internally, and vice versa. You playing a role in whatever's going on with them.
right,
Mirror effect. You
right.
reflecting back to them, and they reflecting back to you. Because I had situations where this person or a person to say something, and they'd be like, "I'm trying to think of." And this is okay. I'm gonna just make an example. This ain't got nothing to do with me, but somebody has said,
Okay.
uh, along the effect of infidelity or something. Maybe a partner has claimed to cheat, and I'm not doing nothing. But now I'm looking at you because why would you be thinking of something that I'm not clearly not doing? So now I'm thinking about what you might be doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody projecting onto you something they might be going on in their reality.
You know what? And it could be though too. That person may not be cheating. The person who's accusing you of cheating, they may not be cheating, but they could have been misconstrued because they see posts. They see somebody make a stat. So then you might do something like flip your phone down. Let's use that as an example. You got your phone down. You might not be cheating at all. You just put your phone downward, like not even thinking. But because we see all these posts saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, when his phone is face down, that means,"
Oh,
So
this yeah. I had made a post about something. It might have been something you was posting or something about, and it was about these whole dating rules and all of that. That's
ah,
where a lot of this. these misconceptions and assumptions and miscommunications come from.
Oh yeah.
Because we all learning, dating and all of this, but everybody learning all these rules for either side or whatever how it go. And I had to learn them too, for the simple fact I didn't realize what people were doing. I wasn't into that whole dating world per se, right. So I wasn't going by any rules or any book or any script. But when I realized dealing with people and dealing with people was running game on me. So I'm like, okay. And it wasn't until after the fact that dealing with these people that I stumbled across these rules. And I'm like, oh, snap.
Right.
So that's what's going on out here.
I feel like, and see, that's toxic within itself. Because
all of those rules create the toxic behaviors that
it create boundaries. It create boundaries and it creates
it's a game.
Yeah. I feel like now in the generation we in, we need to make our own rules. What works for you gonna work for you. What works for somebody else gonna work for them. Do not project your issues, your rules, your hurts on somebody else's situation. And it goes back to, like I said, the phone with the face down. I had to whip myself together like, okay, B, stop doing it. Like, I see so many posts, but now every man I talk to and I see with his phone down, and I'm like, oh, is he, that's toxic. That's not good. That's not healthy. If you're moved by everything you see to believe by everything you see, you might not be ready to be dating or none of that. You need to work on some healing and some self-finding there.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. And it's like these would that say the situation might go left if you do try and communicate to the person. And that's true. That's true, because people run from accountability.
Mm-hmm. So in that situation that she said, how do you respond to that? Like, what do you do if you're the one that's trying to communicate, but the other person they yelling, they screaming, they leave, and they don't want to talk? What do you do in that situation?
You just got to let it be what it is. Because I'm learning, and I've learned from dealing with people, you can't force nothing on nobody, especially no grown person.
Yeah.
Or somebody calling themselves grown. You can't force nothing on nothing, on nobody. All I can do is try. And it's only so much trying I'm going to do, because after a while now I'm wasting energy. Yeah. And some people do that this where this toxic stuff come in. People feed off of that. These getting back into that, narcissistic people like this. These are I guess the medical term, but if you want to be quote unquote spiritual about it, like these are soul suckers, soul drainers, vampires. And people like that in general you got to watch out from, because they intentionally are there just to drain you. They can't develop a source, or they haven't tapped into a source, or maybe they forbidden from being able to function within that force or that source because of who they are and what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Or maybe they running from the source, or what I say, running from God.
Right. So they taking it from you. They draining you.
They're trying to get it from you because they can't go to God and be good, because they've been doing it's karma. It's karma.
Karma comes in many ways, many ways. Speaking on that, do you feel like, how should I say that? Do you feel karma is, or because you are toxic, karma is hidden? I think that's what I'm trying to ask.
Wait, say it again.
Do you think because you are toxic, karma is, because I believe in grace and mercy, so let's just say that. So I don't think people I don't think everyone gets what they deserve. I don't believe that. It's been a situation where I know I didn't get what I deserve. So I do believe in grace and mercy.
Or maybe you did.
Or maybe I did in a way that I didn't recognize it. You're right.
Maybe you was given another chance to do it right.
That's okay. So
Go ahead. Try to throw you off.
No, you good. Because I don't even know what I'm trying to ask in this sense. But I guess I'm trying to see that people who are toxic, who are not trying to change, who are not trying to right their wrongs, do you feel like those are the people who just automatically, all the way around, no matter what, receives their karma?
Yeah, some of them have accepted it, and that's the type of person I think I was dealing with at where I've learned to look at myself and stop because I attracted this person. I literally, whether it's subconsciously or whether you're doing it consciously, you attract people to you. So I'm like, okay, what is it I'm supposed to? And I look at every situation like that. Every relationship or dealing with anybody, I look at what I'm supposed to learn from this person. I'm a teacher.
We should. Everybody is a lesson.
I'm a teacher, but I know all day from me teaching somebody, I got something out of that. I learned something from that interaction. So I always take anything I deal with people in that way. I might not know what it is at the time, but it comes.
I believe everybody is a lesson or a blessing, but some people can be both. So
lesson is a blessing to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Whether it's yeah. I was going to say a good blessing or bad blessing, but I guess there's no bad blessings, right?
There's no good or bad, and that's something different too. It's all about perception. Because you got to realize, if we want to say the tree of good and tree of evil, right? But we forget that was the same tree. That was one tree, the tree of good and evil. It wasn't a separate tree. So it's not the knowledge itself, it's what you do with it.
That's true.
Like, I know how to kill people, but not only a baby know how to kill. Like, it's some things are just natural and instinctual. Mm-hmm. But why? And I know it's bad. I have no reason to do that. I have the knowledge of, but it's what I do with it.
Right.
Use it for self-defense, if anything.
Absolutely. Yep.
So it's what we do with the knowledge. It's the tree of good and evil, but it's what we do with that knowledge that makes it either or. There's really no separation.
So I guess that goes back to you say you finna go into another round.
The hole is deep.
But it goes back to what we said, or what you said earlier. And I know I'm not gonna quote it right, but it's almost like with the toxic versus the imperfect person. I'm imperfect because I don't know what I'm doing at that moment. But
you can't be wrong for that. It's like a child not knowing they doing wrong until you tell them.
And then once I might know this information, but like you just said, it's all in how I choose to go about doing it now or not doing it now. So that determines if I'm gonna become toxic or if I'm gonna just become this imperfect man or woman that's learning or growing from the things I've done or the things I've said. Mm-hmm. Let me get her question on the screen. Tiara just ain't it today. She said, how do you try and come to someone in a respectful manner about them being toxic without coming off too strong or mean?
That's a hard one because and that's the thing about it too. It was going back to where you might not even know you toxic. This person might, nobody want to be that toxic person. Mm-mm. Like I said, there are some people that's doing this shit on purpose. But some people are not aware of their own behavior till you hold up that mirror. And it's necessary if we're going to be dealing with them. Or if we choose to, we gotta be honest and upfront. And it's something I have a trouble with too. Is how to properly communicate, because people automatically go into a defense mode.
Absolutely.
Naturally. So absolutely. It's like, how do you not escalate something like that? Because nobody wants to be called toxic. Nobody wants to be called down on their bull.
I was just going to say to that, Tiara, and that's something that I'm still learning within myself, especially because of the brand that I have. I have to learn when to speak on it and when not to speak on it. I've been in situations where I would say don't go to them calling them toxic, first of all, because once you do that, defense
Don't
goes
use the
up.
word.
So then everything you say
Don't
after
use the
toxic
word.
don't matter. Yeah, it's not gonna work. I've been in both situations, and I've learned that sometimes I fly off, I'm mad, I want to address the situation right then and there. Okay, it don't always go like I think it should go, because when you address it right in the moment of being mad or upset, you say the wrong things. You throw a dart at the person, and once you throw a dart at the person, they shield come up. So now anything after that, they on defense mode, you know. So I've had to, within that same situation, that same person, I've had to breathe, get my alignment together, get my mental together, get my energy together, and then pick a day and time where I know that person is not stressed or worked up. Maybe if it's a friend or a boyfriend, girlfriend, take them out for lunch. Set the atmosphere, set it to be a peaceful atmosphere. That way, they kind of calm and relax, you're calm and relaxed. So when it's time to bring that situation up, it still may go left, but at the same time, you didn't come off in the beginning as negative to them. So you have a 50-50 chance of it not going left, and then the other 50% chance is just all in if that person is ready to receive what you bring into them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to know, and Kwame add on to this, but you got to know when it's time to just give up on it. Like, some things are just not worth steady addressing.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna take somebody else. Maybe you're not gonna be the one to get them the lesson. Maybe they gonna have to hear from somebody else, to understand it. So,
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how it is for me. I don't learn. I can't speak on things right there in the moment. Like it usually take me a day. I gotta sleep on it. I gotta, because sometimes like the way I speak, I'm too straightforward and I'm too blunt, and it might come
man, me too.
all the way the wrong. What like they say, keep it like Dave Chappelle said, keeping it real goes wrong. So
Yeah,
it don't never come out how I want it or need it to come out. So I give it a day. I sleep on it.
yeah,
Come back and I address it.
yeah, yeah. Just give us one example of what a toxic man may look like, and then one as far as behaviors, and then one example of what a toxic woman may look like.
A toxic man. Oh man. Okay. Like, okay, I'm gonna give you. I gotta give you some examples of some other things. Like,
Okay.
say how, as young boys, we taught not to be expressive in a certain way.
Yeah.
So now that same young boy that you told you didn't want to be expressive, whether it was verbally, whether it was emotionally, or whether it was mentally. Now the same boy grows up to be a man, and he is expected to be, whether it's for his partner or for whoever he's dealing with in whatever way. Now they're expecting him, that same person, to be now this same boy. This is general, because this is the way we are raised in society today. So the same boy, which represents mass majority of men, is not supposed to be emotionally expressive, socially expressive in a certain way, mentally, or just expressive, period, in a certain way. That's the beginning of a certain toxicity in men. Because to be a well balanced person, period, whether you're man or female, you gotta be balanced in all of those areas. But we taught from a young age to disconnect from certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So I guess from saying that, when it comes to the man with disconnecting or not, or being not being taught it's okay to express yourself growing up. So do you feel like that's why most men are so quick to just be like, you complaining, I don't want to hear that, I don't want to argue?
Yeah, it's a way of not trying to connect emotionally or whatever that connection requires at that time, because he's never had to deal with that. He's taught he shouldn't have to. More importantly,
be his peace. He already dealing with everything else. But no. What's a woman? Tiara wants us to go back to the attitude. What exactly are you want us to tackle on the attitude part, Tiara? Type in your questions. But Kwame, in the meantime, just go ahead and give us one on the woman then. Like, how would a woman be considered toxic? Just one example. Don't go in on this.
No. I didn't mean it like that, because I could use the same example. But it's even worse for a female, because if anything, that's all the way. I mean, okay, just biologically, we're not talking about social programming or none of that. Men are logical, more logical.
More logical. Yeah.
And women are more emotional.
Yeah.
We're not talking about no gender programming, and we're talking about biology.
Yeah, it's definitely facts.
Yep. We're just talking biology. Not saying men can be more emotional than
right.
women. Not saying none of that.
Right.
I'm just saying natural biology.
Mm-hmm.
But now take what I said about a man. Now a man can disconnect from all of those things, and not saying he'll be balanced, but he could still be pretty all right and functional for the most part. Now, take those things for a female, on the other hand, or woman. I somebody got on me the other day because I used the word female, so I got to be politically correct now. For a woman to disconnect from those things, I would say is worse. Not saying she can't handle them just the same way, but it's worse because she is feeling. I made a post a little while ago where I said it was for women not to embrace emotion and feeling, and that's really the seat and source of her power, of whatever, with anything she's trying to do. Mm-hmm. Is in, because in feelings, emotions, that's a feminine, I ain't gonna say trait, that's a feminine, what's the word I'm looking for?
You talked about superpowers. I feel like it's our superpower if we use it the right way.
Yeah, and it's directly connected.
Yeah.
Emotions and things of feeling, that's directly connected to spirit, the spirit world. A man being in his logics and operating that way is connected to the physical world. So we're more in touch with, even though woman is nature, we're connected to nature mentally, through the mental aspect. Women are connected to nature naturally.
Mm-hmm. I like how you just
through,
I like that breakdown. I never heard it like that, but I agree because I was in church, for a good minute. So I agree with that side of it in the way that you're bringing it and teaching it. It does. It all goes hand in hand, which is why for my platform, I want us to get to a point where we're not fighting with each other so much. Right now, we're at war with each other, and we're supposed to be the pieces of the puzzle to each other. So I love how you just said that.
And you know what's crazy about this war? It's only because of social media. Because we don't have these conversations with each other outside of social media.
I agree.
These gender wars, these topics, these memes, that's really of it too. We don't know who's sitting down and writing this meme saying men ain't this, women ain't this, or men are this, or men talking of, who's ever, it's propaganda.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Sierra,
you said what?
Sierra wants us to talk back on that attitude. If she's still on her, I'm gonna just go on to my next questions until she type in exactly what it is she wants to speak on with that. Because we done timed out, so we on her longer than I wanted because we done timed out, froze up so much. So I definitely want to get through to the questions and stuff. Sorry that we even on here long enough, but it's not in our control. So then the next question, while I guess she's typing hers. Okay. Not this one, because we answered that one. Why is it such a struggle to admit the toxic person might be us? Accountability. We don't want to look at the man in the mirror. That's just point blank, period. What's the next one? When does a person's fleshly battles turn from I'm struggling to nah, you just plain toxic? We did cover that a little bit, but just speak on that again. Like, people always want to be like, oh, well, God ain't done with me yet, or he ain't through with me yet. We use that as an excuse.
I mean, but that's definitely an excuse. But even when God working on you, you should be exhibiting some change.
Some
Like,
change.
and that's the whole thing. God already done with you. God exists in the past, the future, and the present. Time don't exist at all. So he's already whatever he's supposed to been did. He didn't already did it. What are you doing? That's the thing.
That's definitely the thing. Since you said that, we finna hit back on attitude, Tiara, with that, because my personal opinion and experience is when it goes from oh, I'm just struggling, God ain't done me yet, to nah, it's just you tripping. It's the attitude behind it.
Mm-hmm.
What are you humble when somebody come and correct you, or are you like, B, don't say this, or N word, don't get out of my face? Are you that? The attitude behind that exhibits whether you just struggling or imperfect, versus if you just plain toxic. Now you just really the issue.
Right.
Attitude definitely plays a part in all of that. Kwame, you want to add to the
Yeah, and that's why we gotta be. I mean, it depends on the individual person. Are you actually trying to heal? Are you just saying you healing? You actually putting the work in, or is this just because this everything is a trend and a fad now. So
man?
this whole heal, even in this healing,
Man,
it's a
healing, positive
fad now.
vibes, positive vibes. It's a trend.
Yeah, and I
It's a
got a whole
trend.
thing about positive vibes too, because it ain't no balance in it. Ain't no balance in it. If you're not talking about negativity too, and I don't mean negative as we uh, put these definitions behind the words, or the definitions given to us by with these words, because positivity, as we think about it socially, being good vibes, a good spirit, being happy, and then negative, being mad in a bad mood or this and that. But if we want to apply that to how those words pertain in actual reality and nature, to be positive, the positive charge, hot air rises. It's the positive charge. The negative charge is cool. Cool air stays low to the ground. We can take the same word and apply it to how it applies to electricity. Um, to spark, to get a car moving. Um, the positive charge is what gives it its spark, but it's not going to spark if that negative charge is not grounded.
Mm.
So if we want to speak about positivity, cool, but are we grounded negatively?
Yeah.
Where's that positivity grounded in?
It's
The
like
root.
it's like
The root, the source. You know.
it's like positivity cannot be spoken on unless you speak on the negative side of it, um or the negative issue. I know I had one person, obviously this is somebody who was not supposed to be in my circle anyway, but I'm a life coach, so my niche is relationships, friendships, and relationships. So I'm speaking on these things, and obviously she was up in her feelings, and she is like, why don't you post something positive? Why are you always posting something negative? I'm like, what's negative about what I'm posting? If I'm posting something to show you, like, hey, if you always doing this and the other, maybe you the issue. How is that not positive? And
Yeah.
it's like, I feel like toxic people, and they are quick to, oh, positive vibes only. But the attitude behind it shows if you are really a positive vibe person or a toxic person. You
Yeah.
can't dismiss when somebody come and give constructive criticism, or like we spoke on earlier, when they come to give you a very valid disopposing opinion, now you rude, you mad, you're snapping, you're cursing them out.
Right.
That's toxic.
I got a song I had wrote that I was rehearsing with a song. We was rehearsing to record, and the song was called "Let You Go." And I had a family member, I'm not gonna say which one. They came out and said that was a real. They was in the other room listening to the whole practice, and after the fact, like that was it sounded real good, but couldn't sing about something more, more pretty or uplifting. And I'm like, you probably saying that because I was talking about you. Okay. Okay. But
But that's what it is when the shoe fits, and it goes back, guys. You got to realize you are the issue. You are the toxic one. If the shoe fit, wear it. Lace it up really good. Make it look pretty so you can fix that thing. Like, don't we be so quick to throw away the shoe? No, fix it.
Yeah.
If it fits, fix it. Don't be so quick to throw it away. It's you. It's you. You're the toxic one. Yes, you. Mm-hmm. Take the lesson and learn it.
Those shoes are made standard. It might be your foot.
Hey, made only for you, solely for you, custom made.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying your name right, Damara Vaughn. If you need to speak with me, my link is in the caption. You can book a session. So I can pencil that in and put you on my calendar. Just go to, I think it say book a life coaching session. Just book a date and the time that you will want to speak with me, and I can do that for you. The links are in the caption. But going on to the next one, Kwame, what are some ways that we can combat our toxic ways? I mean, we spoke on a nice amount, I feel like, but as we're closing out, any general that you want to give on how we can combat that?
Look at the people around you. First thing is becoming aware of our own self-toxic behaviors. Let's not even look at something somebody else is doing.
Yeah.
To realize what's going on with our own toxic behaviors. It might be hard to go within and find it. So just look at the people around you. Maybe it's not somebody in an intimate romantic relationship. Maybe it's the people at your job. Maybe it's family members around you, the type of friends you have. Just look at and just pinpoint certain things you might deem toxic about them. Mm-hmm. And then go inside yourself and realize, just think to yourself, like, do I do that?
Yeah.
It might not be all the time or how you perceive them doing it, but do you make the same type of slick little remarks, something, whatever you don't like about somebody else, point blank, do you do that?
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, you realize you probably do all of them.
Yeah. When we take time to realize or think about it, self-evaluate, there's a lot of things we do that we don't like that others do. I agree. One of my examples is and I had a huge breakthrough with this, and this was around the time I was really starting my brand. I was getting Conquering Relationships together, setting the ground for it. I realized the way I grew up being disciplined. I realized it was bad. It was bad. It was toxic. And I said I never wanted to do that to my kids. So my son, he was dealing with, of course, boys deal with that peer pressure, want to be like their friends, all of that. And I found myself, the way I was talking to him, yelling at him, like being so mad, like to the point, and y'all, I'm gonna be real transparent. Like I'm punching the walls, like just snapping on him, like you're not gonna be disrespectful at school, like trying to get my point across, but I was doing it in such a negative, toxic way. I had to realize, like, is this how you're gonna talk to your man when you get him, when you mad? Or you're training your son. This is how a woman talks to me when she mad. Like, you got to look at all of those things. So I had a real breakthrough with that. And when I saw his face, it hurt me because it's like he didn't know who I was. He looked at me like, who are you? Where's this anger coming from? When I tell you that hit, that was my breakthrough moment. And I said, I have to learn how to communicate. I have to learn how to get my point across without being so angry and rude and disrespectful and
And
nasty.
what you did, and what a lot of people don't do in moments like that, is be open enough to see that, have that mirror effect, that you saw that in his eyes,
Yep.
that it came back to you. Because
Mm-hmm.
some people, they just go all the way overboard, and they miss that moment.
Mm-hmm.
They miss that reflection. So that's basically where I'm getting at. Look for those reflections in people to show you, the deeper parts of yourself.
Yeah. Yep, and that do go back to what even Tiara said earlier too. You sometimes it's other people that's gonna show you, and sometimes it's gonna be your kids.
Mm.
It ain't gonna be a mate all the time. It's gonna be your kids. It's gonna
It,
be friends.
children, period.
Oh, children,
Because
definitely.
I'm a teacher. This is my second year of teaching in the school, and it's showing me a lot
Yeah,
about myself.
yeah,
Like I said, I'm a teacher, but I'm learning a lot from them. I'm
yeah.
probably more from them than they learning from me.
Yep, yep. And then any parents that are on here, if you dealt with anything that I just said, I was dealing with my son, you got to realize you are also training them. And this is I'm speaking at an event this Saturday, guys, and that is what I'm going to be speaking on, broken homes. But that's going to be I'm going to be touching that particular topic. Like, you are teaching your kids this is how we are supposed to be. So if you are the toxic one, you're angry, you're always fighting, you're always punching some, throwing some, you teaching them that this is how I respond when I'm mad, and this is okay. So when they're at school doing it, you can't whoop them and get mad, because this is what you do. You're showing them that this is okay. This is the toxic behavior that you're exhibiting in them. When they you I do agree with whoopings. I do believe in whoopings. But you're smacking your kid across the face and publicly embarrassing them, but then you wonder why they doing it to their girlfriend or their boyfriend, husband or wife, because you exhibited that toxic behavior to them.
Mm-hmm.
Starts at home, definitely, Tiara. Definitely starts at home. And my home was not the best. So it starts at home, but it's gonna break with you.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't always just be like, well, this was how I was raised. This is all I know. Well, how you was raised wasn't always the right way.
Yeah, and that's something, that's a cycle. That's a daily breaking cycle right there,
Yeah.
because I'm teaching kids now, and I got to remember even how we were taught. You got to
Yeah.
teach them different now. It's a
Yeah.
whole different era, so they
Definitely.
learn different. How they pick up is different. So it's a learning curve for me, just trying
Definitely.
to teach.
Tiara, if you want to get on a panel, I know you're dealing with some stuff. You're still learning and growing, but baby, I think you got some stuff that you can help us with still. So if you could think of a topic that you can help somebody with that you've learned and grew from, inbox me so we can get you on the calendar, because you all up through this.
Yeah, you have some good hitting questions.
Yeah, she all up and through this, but it's on point. Everything she's saying is on point. Um, Kwame, stay on this live when I end it, so I can speak to you just a minute. But as we end, just give them just a little bit of advice or wisdom that you want to leave with them as we close.
just just go within. Just go within, and before because we so quick to externalize everything, because we think, and this is again how we taught, that everything that's happening outside of us is happening to us, instead of everything happening outside of us is actually a project. It's all a projection of what's going on inside of yourself. That's why we
Definitely.
keep attracting the same abusive relationships that maybe we ain't learned from in the past. This is why we keep attracting the same people that exhibit the same behaviors we claim we don't want to see anymore. And maybe
Yeah,
we don't, but why are we still attracting them? I
yeah,
know, I ain't gonna lie. I know I am. So to this, right, like literally to this day, right now, I'm still going within myself, going without myself, checking people around me, and a lot of it got to do with a perception, how we think about things. Because one thing that helped me, and I still gotta, it, you know, um, we tend to see things how we want to see them versus how they actually are.
yeah,
And I learned that was actually I call it being imaginative and being creative. I can use that excuse, but it's actually a form of escapism. Not saying that using outlets, because I'm a musician, I use music, I use art, different types of art forms as a way to deal with it, but it can also be a form of escapism. So it's like, okay, what's uh, what is it I think I'm trying to escape from? Because where you're running from might be actually what you need to run to, or just don't
Yeah.
run at all. Stay still.
Be still. Yeah.
It's easier to figure things out when you stay still.
Yeah.
Um, but without talking in too many circles, uh, just challenge everything and redefine everything to make it make sense. Make it make sense and be honest. Be honest with yourself. We can be honest with everybody else. We can be loyal to a fault to another person, but to ourselves it'd be a whole different ball game.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta switch that up, because that's the reason we keep falling victim to our own desires. Keep manifesting things, relationships, situations, events that seem like you caught in a time loop. You ever felt like that?
Yeah.
Like literally, like it's some Twilight Zone type stuff. Like, man, what? Like almost like deja vu. It just keep happening. Maybe it's a different person, different face, but it's the same energy, and you don't want it. So you got to check yourself. Like,
Yeah.
what is it? What is it about me? What is it that I'm doing?
Yeah.
Um, how am I thinking about it? It might be a way you thinking. It might be a way you feeling. It might be what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Like you said, challenge yourself, redefine yourself. Go back to the dating we was talking about. Let's break all them rules. Let's break them down, throw them away, throw them down a red well, bury them some. Let's recreate, redefine, re-challenge, because a lot of things we go by, a lot of rules we go by, is causing us to be toxic. It's causing us to think toxic and react and act toxic.
And we don't realize who these rules were given to us by. Like I'm big on like programming, mental, social programming, anything that has to do. Because I think of you got to think of your mind as a term like a computer. You've ever tried to install a program on a computer? It's easy to install. It's harder to uninstall, because even when you uninstall it, it's a whole bunch of back folders and subfolders that
Yeah.
still have that program imprint on it. So you got to think of your mind like that. You might got rid of the thought, okay, I'm healing, and this is maybe why we don't think we are where we think we are. Because okay, maybe I'm being conscious of the healing and I want to heal, but I didn't deal with those subfolders that's way back there
Yeah.
somewhere that I
Still,
didn't get into.
still got that gun residue on you.
Yeah, it still got the residue. So it's being aware. You got to think of your mind like a computer. Programming these social and especially dating rules. These a lot of it come from feminist movement. If we know anything about that was nothing but for the separation of a family unit. So just taking that into consideration, we gotta think about all these rules. Okay, I can see, because I'm all about doing things that actually work. What
Yeah.
works for me might not work for you, and vice versa.
Absolutely.
But I'm all
Yeah.
about doing things what works personally for me. I'm not going to continue to do things that don't work, and I can clearly see never work. That's why I'm kind of in a position where I am just in life, because family members that came before me have taught me certain things, told me certain things to help me bypass certain things, certain traps not to fall into. So it kind of propelled me forward.
Mhm.
But these rules that we go by, relationship, especially relationship dating rules, these rules weren't even made for us.
Yeah.
A lot of the things we go by socially weren't made; they were given to us. Ways of being, ways to treat each other, and that's where the redefining comes. Because we got to redefine everything. Up might not be up. Up might actually be down, and
Yeah.
things, just little things like that. Like just that word alone. We tell people to shut up. But when you turn your computer off, what do you hit?
Shut down.
But we just things that your mind works like that. So we got to make it make sense in reality too. Shut down. Don't shut up. Wondering
I
why
just
we still
said
talk when we say shut up.
my friends talk about me because I was I was brought up on raise the window down.
Uh-huh.
And so they talk about me. They were like, "How you gonna raise a window down?" And I'm like, "Shut up, you know what I mean." But no, but yeah, I definitely agree. We definitely got to reprogram. I'm not saying throw away everything we were taught, but some of that stuff we was taught is definitely was a system. It was a box that we were in, and it's time to break those box and generational curses. Going back to Tiara said, find other outlets than social media. That goes back to when you said be still. When I tell you I'm not big on music at certain points of my life. I'm not big on music. Depending on what I'm dealing with, I have to be still. I have to be quiet. I have to ride in silence because I gotta think. I can't listen to this music who if say I'm mad, I'm dating somebody and I'm upset at him. I cannot go listen to a song that's going to put something in my spirit to go do something to him or get back at him. You know, you gotta be still, be quiet sometimes, find a different outlet. Social media is definitely not a good outlet all the time when you're going through something heavy. I would definitely say disengage from social media. And I would also say disengage from certain songs. Find if you love music that much where you gotta listen to it, find something that's gonna put some inspiration in your spirit or a calmness in your spirit. Not nothing that's gonna be ratchet and turn you up and ready to go run somebody over or something. Like you gotta be mindful of that. But that is all that we have for today. Kwame, thank you. I really would like to have you on again. You're so calm in the way you talk. It's so peaceful. But I feel like we need to redeem ourselves. We got cut off so much.
Man, it was all good. I think we got through. I think we got through though.
Yeah. But like I said, stay on. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Those that shared the live, those that commented. I do appreciate you guys. Continue to be our audience because I'm hoping you're learning. I'm hoping you're growing, and it's something that you're taking to go help somebody else. It's all about community. It's all about sharing what you know. We gonna heal each other, y'all. We gotta heal each other. So the only way to heal each other is we get ourselves healed first. If you do want to be a guest, please inbox me, hit me up, and so we can get our topic together. Again, it's October awareness. My I Am Goalsszz cancer awareness shirts. They come in black and white. Purchase a shirt, and we will see y'all later.
Peace, peace.
Don't forget to follow all of us. I said all of us. There's only two of us on the screen. Don't forget to follow both of us. Our links are in the caption, guys. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And